The Whisper in the Wind, the tale of Calian Amberwood. They say that death makes no sound, but those who have met him know better it laughs first. The Grace of Blood. Long before the fires of tyranny reached the Elven Mountains, Calian Amberwood was already different. Born beneath a crescent moon in the waning years of the Dark Wars, Calian came into a world weary from centuries of pain. His people, the High Elves of Amberwood, lived hidden within their crystal forest and mountain spires, artists, architects, and poets who believed that each being was born with a sacred grace, a divine gift, unique to their soul. His mother, Eloria Amberwood, was a musician whose melodies could stir hearts and move armies to tears. His father, Calian Amberwood, forged beauty from metal and stone, a blacksmith and architect who shaped the sky-piercing towers of their kingdom. His brother, Silverus, painted stories into eternity with quill and parchment. His sister, Nemrora, was a diplomat, her voice commanding respect even from kings. When Calian's grace revealed itself, it was not music or poetry or art, it was death. He moved unseen through the forest, silent as breath, swift as thought. His hand never trembled. His aim never failed. He was a prodigy of the hunt, the blade, the bow, an artist of endings. Calian had smiled the day Calian confessed his gift. We all have our grace, my son. Yours is sharp, but still grace. Do not fear it. Master it. And so Calian did. But mastery of death leaves a shadow on the soul. The fall of the Amberwood. For 2 centuries, the Amberwood kingdom thrived. Then came the Paladins. Led by Ezekiel Silverstone, the once noble order arrived bearing banners of unity and purity. They came not with fire at first, but with smiles and sermons. They called for the elves to renounce their magic, their ancient ways, their very grace, and take up the creed of the Paladins, to live only by the light. Nemrora, Calian's sister, spoke for their people at the council. Her words were clear and calm. We are of the light and shadow both, the forest does not forsake its roots to reach the sun. The Paladins left in silence that night, they returned in flames. The elven kingdom of Amberwood burned while the stars wept. The Paladins' purge was merciless, but not all were human. Some elves turned on their kin, desperate for safety and favor. Betrayal ran as deep as the fire. Calian fought, blade flashing like lightning, his every movement a whisper between heartbeats, but even skill cannot stop an army. When dawn came, the kingdom was ash, his mother's harp lay broken in the mud, his father's forge was silent dot. His siblings, gone. Calian vanished into the forest, and from that night, the assassin known only as Whisper was born. The assassin who laughed. For decades, Whisper's name spread like smoke. A killer without allegiance, a phantom with charm enough to sit at your table, share your wine, and take your life before dessert. He was unlike any assassin the world had known, not a shadow in the rafters, but a smile across the tavern table. He'd buy his mark a drink, tell a joke, listen to their woes. And when they laughed and thought him friend, he'd whisper his name, Calian Amberwood, before the blade found its home. Whisper became a legend. Some feared him. Some hired him. Some admired the artistry of his skills. To Calian, it was never about gold. It was about control, mastering his grace so it did not master him. He killed to keep the chaos at bay, to silence the grief that threatened to drown him. Until one day, a contract came bearing a familiar name, Isaiah Reuben Hargrove. The contract that changed everything. The job was simple: eliminate the fallen paladin before his rebellion grew too large. Whisper accepted without hesitation, not for faith or politics, but for the challenge. When he finally met Isaiah, the man was nothing like he expected. He wasn't a zealot or a fool, he was a ghost of conviction, haunted but unyielding. At his side stood Nubia Sylph, a halfling sorcerer whose smile carried more light than most cities. They did not beg him to spare them, they spoke to him of freedom, of balance, of fighting for something rather than against. For the first time in 2 centuries, someone looked at Calian Amberwood and saw grace, not guilt. He turned his blade from Isaiah's throat to the contract givers. When the deed was done, he returned to Isaiah's camp and dropped the parchment of his old life into the fire. You wanted a killer, he said, lips quirking into a grin. Now you've got one. I hope your cause can handle it. Isaiah nodded. Nubia smiled and the whisper joined the storm. the Whispers Creed. Now, Calian moves through the rebellion like wind through trees, unseen but always felt. His humor masks the weight of his sorrow, his charm hides the precision of his mind. He is strategist, scout, and executioner, the blade in the dark to Isaiah's shining sword, the jest to Nubia's hope. And th.